Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mom Bear Vixen back with a short feeding video, so let's get started. Today's video is all about giving you some tips that I have come up with and some tips that I have learned from other people on how to accomplish the feeding frenzy event. And I'm giving you these tips because I've learned through other people that this is actually the most difficult event between the breeding event and the fortification event. This is actually the most difficult one. And I have a feeling it's because people don't really know how to tackle this event. Well, I'm here to help you with that a little bit. And my tips may not necessarily be your tips and my, or other way around. So if you have tips that I may have not thought of or I may not have learned from other people, please feel free to comment in the comments below and tell me, and I'll be sure to add it to another feeding video later on. Because I'm still learning how to work some of these events and what the best way to tackle them is. And I thought that, considering again that this is the most difficult one, we would try and make a short video, hopefully a short video, on how to do this. Well, so let's get started. Let's get right into it. So this week is a feeding event. This is where, hopefully, if you've been preparing for it, you've been leveling your dragons and saving it, saving some for this event. Well, here's the thing. I know all of you are going to say that it's impractical to save and, all that. Well, you're right, it is. If you're, not benching them after, getting them to breeding level, then it would be impractical. But here's the practical side of this. I've learned from someone by watching his video of how he did some of this, and you want to get all your dragons that you're hatching and breeding to the breeding level, okay? That I get. But here is the tip. Here is my first tip. Once you've reached the breeding level and you've decided, well, you're not going to use this dragon, you're not going to expert it out, you're just going to leave it, you're just going to bench it. When it comes to preparing for this particular event, level up the ones that you've benched. Not only will it help you get them to the expert level, but it'll help you, achieve the point rewards that you want during this feeding frenzy event. So that would be a tip, okay? That would be a tip that I learned from, some of you may be familiar with Sky Gaming on YouTube. I watch his YouTubes as well as he watches mine. And so that would be a tip that I learned from him this week. So there is your first tip. Now, here is another one that I learned from someone, and I don't remember where I learned it from. It may be on Facebook in the group that I'm in. But here is one. Now, when you feed your dragon perches during this event, you get points. You get 1 point for every time that you feed on the perch. Well, here's a tip. Say I haven't fed Terrand yet, and I didn't just sit him on the perch. See, I have the ability to change him. Well, here's the thing. If your feeding bar is nearly as low as mine, so you have about a half hour left until this is depleted. Well, here's the thing. Feed him all over again. And then change the dragon. Now, you can only do this a couple of times during the event because you have to wait 24 hours to change the dragon again. But that is a way to get points because it's every 10 points you get one, or every 10 food you get 1 point. So that would be tip number 2. Now, here come my tips for this. Here is a tip. These production bonuses you get for, say, your sheep farms or your lumber mills, save them. Whether you're saving them for the fortification event or the feeding frenzy event, save them. Because honestly, this will help boost your production during these events so you're not constantly having to attack people, especially if you're not one to attack people all the time. This will help you get food. So that is tip number 1 of my own. Now, some of you are probably going, yeah, that's pretty common sense, common knowledge, and yeah, it probably is, but for the people who are new to this game, it actually might help. So that is what I'm here to do. Now, tip number 2 is to save the food packs you get until this event. Now, while you see, I don't have any right now because I personally, on my off time, have been working on this event since it started yesterday, and so I don't have any more. But that would be another tip, because you do get them as rewards from other events. And you know, if you buy chests with your rubies and stuff, so I do believe you get food packs and stuff from those. Or if you just buy from the store itself, you get food packs from those. And it actually helps to where you don't have to attack right away to gain more food for the event. So that would be tip number 2. Now, my last and third and final tip would be having to deal with the potions that you can get. Now, sometimes you get these from, I think, probably also from events. You get some from chests as well. And you get them from your bounty as well. You know, your 6-hour bounties, you can get them. I have personally saved some. Now, when it came to the breeding event, I used some. You probably saw in my, my babies video that I actually used some to get some of my dragons to the breeding level. Now, my whole intention with those potions and having had saved so many was to actually use them for a feeding event when it came along. But I like breeding a little more. I like the breeding event a little more, so I pushed out a couple dragons for that, as you saw. So that was that. But you know, it helps out in the long run with both events, because then you have more dragons to level, you know. But that's me. So now, I didn't put a couple of these tips to use. Like the one from Sky Gaming, I didn't put that to use because, well, the last building I decided to upgrade during last week's fortification building was my breeding castle. And while, yes, it's finished now, that took a couple thousand rubies. And while some of you probably would say that was a mistake, I really wanted to put up some points for my team for this event. I finished it in the less than 20 days it was supposed to take. So I wasn't quite as prepared as I would hope to be for this kind of event, but that's it. So that is my tips. Those are my tips for this event. Now, I do have some dragons ready to be fed. I really, really do. As you see, I have 4. Now, one of these dragons happens to be Abraxas, but because I'm not level 70, I can't upgrade my Dragon's Den yet. So that has to wait for now. But we could show you, well, we could probably show you Dactyl, because that's probably the cheapest of all. And as you see, it takes 9.3k to finish it. So let's do that and end the video here, just to give you a little taste of the feeding. So there we go. And it's leveled, and it's almost experted. So there you go. There's my tips for the feeding frenzy. I hope you all enjoy this video. I hope you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.